Hey everyone, KillerJ456 here, welcome back to another video. Today I'm back, and today we are back with Zombies Replay episode 13. Now I know I have taken a hiatus on this series for quite a while now due to the fact that Cold War Zombie stuff has been coming up and I've just been busy on like real life stuff, so I am sorry that I've been busy. But we are now back with Zombies Replay episode 13, and now we are into the Black Ops 2 era. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, as you know, I've been through World at War and Black Ops 1 with different various zombies YouTubers. Just because I have been on a break, I will explain how this series works. As you know, this series has been inspired by the Swift plays and Tim Hansen's map review series. How this works is basically I play the map for as long as I want, and I have gotten a change where normally I'd play the map for 30 minutes, but instead I'm just going to play to the point where all the questions are finished and stuff, and I always bring a new zombies YouTuber, or possibly two, every single episode, or just someone who's played zombies in general. So yeah, we've got two special guests today, two Tranzit fanboys. So we have got Killer. Would you like to introduce yourself, Killer?
Hello guys, KillerJ456, Clarky, thank you for giving me the opportunity to join on this episode.
So that is Killer, and make sure to go subscribe to Killer in the description below, because Killer actually is the person who makes the music, the sickest beats for the streams I play. So any music that is being played on my stream is all made by him. Really nice guy, really makes great beats, really underrated person, so I recommend you do go check him out in the description below. And then Matt, would you like to introduce yourself, my guy?
What is up guys, my name is Master6, you already know.
So yeah, we got Matt here. Matt is making a return to YouTube as well. I've known Matt for quite a while now, so I recommend you guys do go check him out. This boy's going to be grinding out Cold War with me, lads. I need this boy, right? This boy has big brain when it comes to Easter egg hunting. So yeah, so I'm going to be asking you guys questions. If you guys don't know how this works, is basically in total we have 8 questions. As the series goes on, I will be adding in new questions, but as of right now, we have only added in 1 new question to this series. So I will be asking you guys the 8 questions. We'll go in order. It will go Killer, and then Matt. Be as honest as you guys want, and go for as long as you want. And yeah, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready,
do
man.
this.
Okay, so Killer, I'm going to start off with your first personal experience with Tranzit. How did you feel when you played Tranzit for the first time?
So originally at launch, this game was mega hyped. Everyone was hyped for it. When I first played it, I obviously enjoyed it the first playthrough. I thought it was the greatest map at first, honestly. But then after the first week of playing it, things fell through for me with this map. We could talk about the issues of this map, but like, I had fun at first with it. Like, you know, even with friends, it was so much fun when you have friends in the lobby. Solos is not as fun. Like, it's like a nightmare when you play solos. But overall, when I first played it, I had a blast playing Transit when I first played it.
Okay, Matt, would you like to give your first personal experience with Tranzit?
Yeah, I would love to. So my first time playing Transit, it was with KillerJ456. I went to his house. I remember it so vividly. I went to his house. He's like, yo, you gotta try out this new map. And zombies. I'm like, okay, I never played zombies before in my life. So I remember playing zombies. I got scared. You know, it was all fun and jokes, and that was the first map that I've ever played, and I fell in love with it automatically. Even though that the map is not the best compared to like most zombie maps out there, it is like it holds a special place in my heart. So when I first played it, you know, it was a lot of fun, especially as KillerJ456 said. It's really fun with friends, but after you played it multiple times, you come to realize all the bad parts of the map. So
okay, really interesting. I actually never knew this was your first ever map playing, so really interesting there, Matt. My first ever personal experience with Transit, I started back in World at War and Nact when Call of Duty was still going on. After completing the campaign and stuff, we went on to Nact, and then I really got hooked into zombies, and then came along Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was marketed as one of the most hyped zombies games ever in history, and that's every day when a new code gets announced. But with Black Ops 2, it was really interesting because we got a new set of characters, and we were wondering how this would take place after the map Moon. Because if you guys do remember in the Moon Easter egg, the moon does get exposed. So we were wondering, like, how is this going to work? And it looked like it was on Earth, but everything was just into ruins. Everything was broken, done. And we got a new set of characters, and like the fact that you could ride a bus, man, I was hyped for that shit. I've always wanted a moving vehicle in zombies ever since like probably Black Ops 1 Kino. and I was really excited to see that a bus was coming into to Transit. And it was really interesting to see how it played out, but first time playing it, I did have fun with it. Like Killer said, playing solos ain't the best, but playing with friends is definitely fun. I always played solo back then, because most of the time I just play by myself. But apart from that, it was definitely like really interesting to get a new zombies experience like this. It was like open world, but it really wasn't, because like Bus Route B was there, and like one of the reasons why Transit was necessarily not the best is because Xbox was on last gen, and because of that they had to add in the fog, which the fog is one of the reasons why no one likes Transit. And without the fog we would get untextured glitches. So now when people think about it now, it's literally, there was nothing they could have done apart from the fact that, hey, it was on last gen, they had to get a game out due to Activision telling them to, so they had to add in the fog. And that's fair dues, because that's what happened with Black Ops 4 too. They told them to get Black Ops 4 as fast as possible due to Battle Royale. So Black Ops 2 was the same case, but with zombies. So yeah, I'm honestly not surprised with how Black Ops 2 Zombies came out with Transit. And then moving on with everything else, that's really it, to be honest, with my first personal experience with Transit. So for the next question I have, Killer, is the things that you don't necessarily like about Transit.
There are so many things wrong with this map. Like it may look good on paper, but when you actually make it into a full-fledged game or map, it becomes a disaster. Like there's no content like in the map. Despite how big the map is, it's pretty empty. Like no content at all. How the Pack-a-Punch worked, like everything in the map doesn't make sense to me. Like yeah, you have the bus, which is fine, but like even the Wonder Weapon also is basically a ripoff of the Thunder Gun, but shooting teddy bears, pretty much. Everything with this map is just bad. You can't say anything good about this map. Like that's all I have to say. Like there's nothing like this. Like everything in this map is bad. Like it is the definition of trash in this map. Like there's no life to it, no passion behind it. That's how I feel about the map. So,
Matt, what are your dislikes about Transit?
As Killer said, there's a lot of things, and a lot of things don't make sense in the map. But specifically, the things that stick out for me is that the jet gun is complete ass. Not if you're using it high round. If it's high round, that's a whole different story. Like it's actually good, in my opinion, high round. But just using it in general like a regular weapon, it's just complete ass. Like, come on now, we all have to agree with that. And the second thing that I was always confused about was that you can't pick up the shield and you can't pick up the other part together. Like you have to pick up one separately. It's like what's the point of that? Because you just can't you just pick up both, one to protect your back as a shield, and then have the generator to like revive. Double tap or something, or stuff to like open the doors with. It makes sense you to hold two, but that's another part. And then the little demons in the fog, that was also annoying too. And especially the fact that if you miss the bus, it's either like you try to survive where you are right now, or you have an option to run through the fog and most likely get manhandled by zombies and by the little demon things that are crawling around your face. It's really weird. Overall, like solo, it's not fun because it's solo. Like you're playing by yourself, and like it's not fun when you're playing by yourself. Like I can personally say that like solo on any other map is fun. For example, Shadows of Evil, because I love that map and it's like really easy to play. It works properly, and like the mechanics are amazing. But when it comes down to Transit, it just doesn't make sense. Like Killer said, it's all over the place. Like so many things they could have changed that could have made the map 10 times better than what it is now, but they didn't think of all those things until now. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of things they could have changed to make the map better, but sadly it's in its current state right now.
Like they did say, lads, and I think we can all agree, whether you're a Transit fan or not, there is definitely a lot of issues when it does come to Transit. And I am going to spout out a lot of issues for people who like Transit out there, just a little warning for you out there. So my personal problems with Transit is, well, I'm really not going to say the fog due to the fact that we've now got an explanation why fog was added, in like with how last gen worked back then. They gave us a reason. They literally could not do anything. So I do understand like how like they must have felt, saying like, oh, we did not want to add in fog, but there was nothing we could have done unless you want to see untextured glitches. So That's fair. That's definitely fair for them to add that. But for like the other stuff, the denizens, like Matt said, they are called denizens, crawling on your face. Glad they didn't return. Glad they don't return. And if a Tranzit remaster happens, you better not add them back. But honestly, denizens were a definitely cool type of zombies, but definitely annoying as hell. If they somehow do bring them back, I want them to make them not annoying as hell. Because honestly, when it comes to different types of zombies, it is cool. Because recently I did just learn that like a lot of people did hate the elemental zombies from BO4. I thought a lot of people didn't mind that, honestly. But I can see why now a lot of people hate different types of zombies. Because honestly, how it worked in BO4 with the Callus zombies, that's what they were actually called. In Black Ops 4, you had poison, fire, electric, and water. And the ones I really didn't find annoying was the poison and electric. The reason why I did not like fire and water, and I did think they were cool, I don't think they were the worst or anything, I still liked them, but the reason why I don't think they were like the absolute best was due to the fact that the fire zombie can actually insta-down you depending on what health you have. And then when it comes to the war zombie, he makes other zombies stronger, which is a really cool idea, but the zombie itself is like can be really strong. Even if you have a pack-punch weapon, he can actually be really strong. So it is a risk take. So, but apart from that, that's really it, to be honest. But all in all, I do think it was a cool idea to bring in a new zombie type. But all in all, I just don't think it was the best to add in something like denizens. I think all of us can agree that like denizens just they're not friendly, man. They're not friendly. And when it comes to the jet gun definitely had a lot of potential. And this is how I felt with like all wonder weapons. Take the jet gun for example. No, the VR11 from Call of the Dead. That shit had a lot of potential, but it turned out to be one of the worst wonder weapons in history. But it still has a lot of potential till this day. Take Tag the Tone for example. That's a remake of Call of Dead. They could have brought that back, but decided not to due to budget cuts. They might have not had like permission or whatever the fuck to bring that back. I don't know how it works. Like just Tranzit in general, I didn't mind it as a whole because as you guys know, I don't mind any Call of Duty Zombies game or map. I like them all for what they are. But in general, I just think that there is a lot of problems with Tranzit that definitely did need fixing, but they couldn't do it due to it running on last gen and next gen consoles weren't released at that time. So they had to wait a long ass while. And then obviously that's one of the reasons why Black Ops 3 done so successful was because it was on next gen. And yeah, that's really it to be honest. There's a lot of things I can hear about Tranzit, but a lot of the stuff is due to it being on last gen and they literally could have done nothing about it. But it's whatever at the end of the day. So the next question I have for you, Killer and Matt, well, Killer first, is what would you like to add or change to the map? So by add, I mean the map is still the same way as you all know and love, but you've added something new into it. Or changing it by you can either remove something from the map and just change something to it. Like, what would you guys do? What would you do, Killer?
Like to change it, you need to change the whole formula for this map. Like you gotta change how to acquire Pack-a-Punch because that was a nightmare trying to get to Pack-a-Punch. Like change the jet gun completely, change it all together. They could add bus route B, but I don't think that'll make it different despite how Tranzit is built. It is from last gen, so it is understandable why the map it is what it is. There's nothing, like in my opinion, there's nothing you can change to make this map better. There's nothing. Like you need to strip the whole thing from the ground up. That's how I feel about Tranzit. Like just strip the whole thing, change everything. Like I mean everything from the map. Don't keep it the same. Like, and that's why I disagree with a remastered of it because if you remaster it, then those same problems will go come. Like Pack-a-Punch, building the part for the fan, go to the power, put that thing in front of the door, take the bus to the Pack-a-Punch. Just the whole thing is a jumble mess, and there's nothing, that's just my opinion, there's nothing you can do to make this map better.
Then Matt, what would you add or change to the map?
One thing that I would definitely change is I would change the bus system. So for an example, Shadows of Evil, you had the train system where you look at the You go on the train, you see the symbols. I would want something like that where you don't buy it for $500, but instead of buying it, you call it in. So let's say you're at the box, so you're at the diner, and you don't want the bus to leave because you still want to get the ray gun or you still want to set up. You can just automatically like hold the bus there, and then when you want to leave, you can just call. They can like hold square or whatever you're planning on, and just like go to your next destination. I feel like that's one thing I would definitely change is to hold square or tell or move the bus when you want to move it instead of always like it honking and then you move and you lose a bus and you have to like go through the fog. Another thing I would definitely change would be the thunder gun, not the thunder gun. Sorry, the
Jet gun.
the
Jet gun.
the jet gun. Yeah, thank you. I would want the jet gun to be like something along the lines of the thunder gun, and hopefully the new Cold War wonder weapon. Hopefully, it's going to be something like that and better. That's what I would want the jet gun to be, and because they could just be good in high round and like early round. That's what I wanted the jet gun to be, but sadly, it didn't turn out to be that way. And obviously the fog. But as you said, it's the glitches and all that stuff that would definitely hurt the game. So it would be the fog, but it's like, do you really want the glitches, or is the fog still good the way it is? But the two main things is the bus and the jet gun for sure.
Then I was really surprised on what you said about the bus. Definitely, I do agree with your jet gun point. Matt literally took the words right out of my mouth, so I literally can't say anything. But change it to the map. There's literally really nothing much I could change. Like, another problem that people had was like the map was too big. But yet again, Shirk wanted to go for that open world type of feel. Like, not too open world because there is barriers within the map. There's some areas that you can't go. But I do like to know where they're going with it, because like within BO4 to me, they experimented with things, and like maybe BO2 Tranzit was the same thing where they experimented with new stuff, bringing in an open world type of zombies map, but it's not really open world. And honestly, I wouldn't necessarily change that. All it has to do is like make a lot more areas more interesting, whether that comes to storyline, wall buys, whatever the hell, just make it more interesting, I feel. And honestly, there is really nothing bad or anything I can change. I just wish there was maybe something different to the jet gun, maybe. I know the jet gun yet again had a lot of potential, but I just don't know, man, honestly. I really do not know what to say about the jet gun, apart from the fact that it did have a lot of potential, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So yeah, I really can't add or change anything to the map, but if they do like remake it, I definitely see high hopes for this like map doing better, because this map still has potential till this day. But yet again, it's in BO2. We are now into the 5th Black Ops, which it's not even called Black Ops 5, it's called Cold War, but this is the 5th Black Ops 2 release. So I don't think they'll be going back to this Call of Duty to update or anything anytime soon. But I'm just saying, if they do remake into Cold War or a future Call of Duty title, they still do have the potential there. It's still there. It's not going away or anything. So in Treyarch we trust. So for the next question I have, Killer, is what do you like about the map?
What I like about the map is that with friends, it's so much fun. Goofing around with your friends, playing until midnight, and just basically just trolling. Like, this is a dream map for trolls. And personally, I was a troll back then. I trolled people so much back in the day, and this was like heaven to me when it comes to trolling. That I can say is a good thing. But overall, like, as a general player, it's going to be tough solos. You're better playing with a squad. I think that's when you'll get most of your enjoyment, you know, kicking your friends off the bus, leaving them behind. It's definitely a good map to play with friends. In terms of the actual content in the map, there's, again, as I said this before, and I will stick by it, there's nothing good in terms of like gameplay in the map. So
Matt, what do you like about the map?
To be honest, exactly everything that Killer said, you know, having fun with your friends, playing squads. But realistically, the only reason why I like Transit a lot is because of nostalgia. You know, I've had all those like funny moments with you know, Killer and like all of my other friends that I played with on PS3 when I played Transit. But the one thing I kind of like would be the bank system. It's nothing like serious, but it's like one of those things like, okay, you know, that's kind of cool. And the one thing I do like is the Transit the jet gun high round. I feel like it's like one of those things where it just keeps on killing and killing and killing. It doesn't stop. And that's one thing that really turned out to be good with the jet gun, is the high rounds for it, But realistically, who the hell is really gonna do high round on Transit? Let's be real here, right? Because as
Like, you
as you
can't.
both said, and I said, like solos is a pain in the ass. No one's really gonna wait here and do 6 hours, 6 to 4 hours of solo Transit to like round 100. You're just insane. So I'm gonna stick with Brandon on this one and Killer. There's nothing really you can like about this map other than the fact that it's really fun playing with friends.
I do like that point. That is definitely, and I'm going to agree with that point. Playing this map with friends is definitely really, really fun. Because, again, there is memes of Transit out there. Like, everyone knows there's memes of Transit out there. And those memes can actually turn into the map to make it fun. And especially with friends, if they know the memes, you can just mess about. It's just fun, like Matt said. And also, just in general, the map itself, the one thing I really do like about it is the bus. The bus is probably like one of my favourite things. Alongside playing with friends, the bus is definitely like my top tier thing on this map. I really do like this map for the bus. The bus could have been like definitely better because like outside it looks so textured, but yet again last gen, what can you do? But apart from that, I really did like the bus for what it is. Apart from that, there's really nothing much I could say apart from the fact that playing with friends is fun and like I really like the map for what it is, honestly, and playing with friends is fun, so yeah. So the next question I have, and this is the newest question that's been added as of right now, what do you think about the wonder weapon of this map, the jet gun?
God awful. The jet gun, there was so much hype around the jet gun back in the day. People were saying this is the Thunder Gun 2.0, but it became complete ass. As Master6 said, the jet gun is good for high rounds, but at the same time, it shoots teddy bears. Like, come on. Like I don't know what they were going with it. Like, the jet gun has so much potential to be one of the best wonder weapons in COD history, like in Zombies history, but it just fell so flat. There's nothing to it. And plus, you have to build the jet gun. So you're telling me I have to find these parts, build the jet gun to use this weak weapon? Like, I feel like the jet gun is one of the worst wonder weapons. Like, I don't know if you two agree with me, but it is one of the worst wonder weapons in COD Zombies ever. Again, if they do make a remake of this map, the jet gun still has the potential and could use small changes to it to make it even stronger. But overall, the jet gun it's not it. Like, it's not it for me. So
Matt, what about you?
I personally don't like it. I'm gonna go in the train with everyone saying like such as Killer and everyone else that will be watching this video is that everybody, when I mean everybody, I mean everybody hates the jet gun. And the only valuable thing I could stick by is the fact that it's good for high rounds. But it goes back to my point saying, who the hell is really going to stay for a round 100 Transit? Let's be real here. So overall, the fact that I wish it had the value, like, for an example, Shadows of Evil, you hop in, the first, like, one of your priorities is to build the portal gun or the Apothecary Servant. I wish you could get that reward with the jet gun, but instead you build it takes too long to build the gun, and then when you build it, it's like, what the hell did I just do? I just wasted half of my time building a shit wonder weapon when it doesn't do anything. Like, because no one's gonna be playing past 50 rounds or maybe even 30 rounds of Transit. It's gonna be like max 20 rounds, and then you're done. You're done playing the map, and there's no point, like, there's no value to building the jet gun, and that's the only problem I have with it. The only thing I like about it is the fact that it's good for high rounds.
I could definitely agree. The jet gun still has a lot of potential when it comes to remakes and remasters, but oh no, I definitely do not think it is the best wonder weapon. Like Matt said, it is good for high rounds, because at the end of the day, it's a wonder weapon, but oh no, it's just really not the best. Again, I know I'm coming up with short points here, but it's like, there's really nothing much I can say apart from the fact that, like, the jet gun is just not the best. Unless there is something that I'm missing, I want you guys to comment down below your opinions on the jet gun, because I do think the jet gun is definitely a good thing to talk about in the community personally, especially when it comes to this. Like, we're coming up with short points here about the jet gun, because not really people like the jet gun, so there's really nothing much we can say about it. So yeah, let us know in the comment section down below. So the next question I have, and this question is optional, so you do not need to answer this question, just give it a holler if you don't want to answer this question. So what do you think about the storyline of this map, Killer?
So personally, I didn't really start following the storyline of Transit, like I haven't. So I want to know where it falls. I know it takes place after Moon, like of course I know that, but the actual storyline inside Transit, I don't really know what the storyline is.
So Matt, do you know anything about the storyline?
Honestly, no. I
Oh,
just
great.
I swear, like I just played the map just to have fun, and then to this day, even though as much as I love zombies, I still don't know the storyline to Transit. I don't know what it connects to. I don't know the meaning of anything of it.
Because no one cares about Transit.
Interesting point. So if anything, I I like the storyline about Transit because it does take place after Moon. Because when Black Ops 2 was announced, I was like, and Zombies was confirmed, but we never got in like any trailer or anything. I was like, well, what's going to happen? Like the moon exploding and shit. Like what's going to happen now? I was genuinely lost for words. I was excited to see what was going to happen, though. Don't get me wrong. I was just genuinely curious. And then when I saw like it was like taking place on the Earth, it was just all torn to shreds. I was like, shit, this shit's happening right now. And then when going on to the map, it's just like, yeah, next question. But apart from that, like, I definitely did think the storyline on this map was cool due to it taking place after Moon and Moon having such an amazing ending. Maybe not the best ending in Black Ops 1 because Black Ops 1 graphics Moon was definitely not the best and it never had the cool ass music that it does in the Black Ops 3 remaster. But oh no, it definitely is really cool for what it is. The storyline wise taking place after it, and then we learn the secret of Avogadro, and then Avogadro becomes this one whole big thing within Zombies storyline, especially when it came to Alpha Omega, him being the boss. It was definitely really cool. So yeah, I was honestly excited to see him meet on and learn more about the Avogadro, like where he came from, who is he, what's the secret identity, blah blah. And yeah, I was honestly really excited. But apart from that, that was really it. We've got 2 more questions left, lads. So take your time. So Killer, would you be okay if this map would come back as a remaster, where the graphics are really nice and everything on this map, bright colours, I'm saying 1980s shit from like Cold War, or it's a remake where we do get the nice graphics and such, but there is a lot of new things added.
Personally, I would like to see a remake of this map instead of a remaster, because with the remaster, yeah, you get the better graphics, maybe they might change a couple of things like picking more than one part, you know, whatever, but like with with a remaster, like they can't change like some of the systems, like acquiring, like I said, acquiring Pack-a-Punch, you know, the power and the Easter egg, which nobody cares about the Easter egg, or that's just my opinion. Personally, I'd like to see a remaster or a remake. I'm interested to see what they add and how they would change the map to make it better than it was back in, I don't know when the game came out, but like personally, I would like to see a remake of this game.
Matt, what about you?
All right, so I have 2 sides to this question. The one thing is that I would love to see it remastered because my point is, to be honest, all my friends used to play on PS3 probably sold their PS3 or don't even hop on. Like the PlayStation 3 is just like obsolete. No one goes on anymore. So it would be nice to like have a remastered and like play with my friends now. Like for example, like you, Karki, or even Killer. Just like have fun on it, you know, just chill out, relax, like one of those casual maps. But although I would like to see a remake because we've already seen it, we already know what happens in Transit, we already know about the fog, the whole storyline and all that stuff. But I would like to see how a remake turns out to be. I would like to see what they would change if they would make the map better, which they most likely will, because come on, Transit's like honestly the worst map out there, even though it's still my favorite map. But I would like to see how they can progress and what they can do better to make the map the way it was supposed to be on day one.
Definitely go to agree with us with the 2 sides thing. If it's a remaster, honestly, I wouldn't mind it personally. I definitely do think they would remove the annoying things, because even though a remaster is mainly the same thing but with just better graphics, they still add in a couple of new things. But a remake is when they add in a lot of new different things. And with Transit, as big as it is right now and they've added in a load of shit, I don't know. If anything, I'd like a bit of both. So a remaster, better graphics, but remove the stuff that wasn't intended. If they bring back denizens, okay, but make them somehow not as annoying. And then when it comes to the fog, definitely get rid of that shit. We're in the PS5 era now. so they should not have gone the fucking fog within a remaster by now. But apart from that, Tranzit still has a lot of potential to this day, whether it's a remake or a remaster. I'll probably like it either way. So boys, that's just the last question of the video, and you guys can literally go all out with this last question. So
Okay, here we go.
So Killer,
Alright.
last question. We'll go Killer first. So Killer, out of 10, what would you rate Transit, and a reason why?
So, despite all of its problems with this map, like a solid 5. Like, it's average. Like, it's not. There's nothing special about it. Like it's an average map that that you can play with your friends, or if your friends come over to your house, just sit on the couch, play on the TV. Like, it's an average. It's just an average map. Some flaws, with the fog, the bus leaving so fast, which gives you no time to build your shield in the mystery box. The jet gun could be a lot better. It still has the potential for a remastered or remake. Change the system, how you acquire Pack-a-Punch, because that was so annoying with the Pack-a-Punch system, in my opinion. It's just an average map to me. Like, there's nothing special about it. There's nothing crazy about it. So overall, a solid 5. No more than a 5.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
a solid 5. It's average. Like there's something, like, it's not a 6. It's not a 7. It's definitely not a 4. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst map in COD, or it is one of the worst maps. But like, it's really not that bad if you look at it clearly. So, like I said, it's not a 6. It's not a 4. It's a solid 5 for me.
Alright, Matt.
Okay, Matt.
It's up to you, mate, and then I've got
up
to
to you,
rate my
man.
opinion.
Okay, now, like the previous question, I have two sides to this. One is my genuine opinion, and the second one is like looking at like on stats, but like paper, how it really is. My personal opinion, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10, 100%. This is like my first map ever. I love this map. This is like nostalgia 101 right here. Trans is like to the top. Better in my opinion, better than Mob of the Dead and Origins. Personally, take that with a grain of salt. As a young child, when I first played, I'm not looking at Easter eggs. I'm just looking at shooting zombies, killing zombies. Having fun with my friends.
I'm looking at that perspective too.
Just shooting, gunning around. It's just way better than Origins. Because like Origins, you have the mud. You have to do certain stuff to progress even in the game. Like as you go higher round, like higher in the round. It's just overall better. You have a lot more fun than we have in Origins. Okay, so that's my personal opinion. As I said, take that with a grain of salt. That's a 9 out of 10 for me. But looking at like on paper, stats wise, it doesn't deserve a 1. It's a 0 out of 10.
Okay.
Well,
But like stats wise, it's a 0 out of 10. It does not deserve to even have 1 point in my opinion. It's just that ass of a map. It's honestly should have been made in the first place. It's just a waste of time.
well, now I've got to rate my opinion now. So honestly, so I've played Transit a lot, but as of like 2018 to 2020, I literally haven't played it at all. Honestly, I've like the more I've played it with friends, the more I have enjoyed it. I will admit that, and I can see why is Matt has rated a 9 out of 10. Because the more like the days goes on, the more people do like Transit, and that's particularly gotten doing with the memes and just people playing it back now in general due to nostalgia and shit. But if anything, I'm going to have to give it a solid, and people say Die Rise is worse, man. I genuinely don't know between the two. I'm genuinely going to have to say a 4 out of 10. I am genuinely going to have to say a 4 out
Okay,
of 10.
that's understandable.
I like the map, I don't hate it, and everyone knows this because I say this literally every time I stream zombies. I do not hate any map or Call of Duty Zombies game. I like them for what they are. But definitely, all maps will definitely have more flaws and more ups than others. That's something that I will always stand by. But apart from that, I don't think any bad is like the worst or like bad in general. I think they're all good equally for what they are. So yeah, that's my personal opinion on why I'm rating out a 4 out of 10. But yeah guys, so that was Zombies Replay episode 13. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe, leave a like, click the notification bell, always subscribe to the channel. The next episode we'll be going through Die Rise with, I haven't got a guest yet, and this episode will probably be released by November 1st. As of this point boys, we are like 11 days away from Cold War, so make sure to go subscribe to Killer because his music and beats are literally banging. Matt, my dude's back on the grind. He's ready, lads, so make sure to go subscribe to them. both in the description below. But next episode will be Diarise. I thank you guys all for coming on. Matt, Killer, thank you for hopping on. And I will see you all next video live stream, boys. And goodbye!